Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hi, it's Jackie Kashian. Welcome to the Dork Forest. You know the websites, JackieKashian.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com if you enjoy a determiner. Vilmos fixes the website, of course. Patrick Brady's going to fix this audio. Mike Rickberg just sang the song you heard with his girlfriend Sarah, and Michael sing again at the end. So those are the credits. Very exciting. Vilmos just updated JackieKashian.com. My schedule, totally there for stand-up comedy, of course. The store page now, everything's $5 more because postage was kicking my ass. So feel free, if you would like a t-shirt or a CD, a Dork Forest t-shirt or a Ranger of the Dork Forest t-shirt, to order at JackieKashian.com. And there's international prices now, too. You can also order a sweet, sweet hooded sweatshirt if you enjoy a zip hoodie. That'll take probably 4 or 6 weeks, though I'm going to order soon. So if you want one, do it now. And then there's a donation button both on DorkForest.com and JackieKashian.com. Knock yourselves out, folks. If you have $100, give it to me. If you don't have $100, just listen, and then we'll still be friends. It'll all work out. Come out to the show. So I hope you're enjoying the podcast. It's the Dork Forest, the safest space in Podcastville. Also available on allthingscomedy.com, which doesn't have any of the notes because SoundCloud imports it weird. DorkForest.com has all the notes and links and all that kind of stuff. If you're looking for new podcasts to listen to over at allthingscomedy.com, the Dork Forest can be listened to directly there. It can be listened to directly at JackieKashian.com or DorkForest.com or on iTunes. You can subscribe, of course. Okay. Other than that, I thought there was something. Oh, I know. If you want to be of some service to the show but don't have any money, right, you can go to JackieKashian.com. There's an Amazon link there, and you can support the behemoth that is Amazon, because we all order from Amazon. I'm not the only one. But if you order by clicking on the link from JackieKashian.com, I get a little kickback of some sort. It doesn't affect how much you pay or anything. It just essentially alerts them that you've come through JackieKashian.com, and then I get some sort of weird kickback. It hasn't happened yet, but if you want to order from Amazon, go to JackieKashian.com and click on the Amazon link. Longest intro ever. Hello, Joseph Keckler. Welcome to the program.
Hello, Jackie.
Excellent. We met at UCB not long ago.
That's true.
And you said, I like opera, and you're good at opera, and you sing, and it's neat.
Thank you.
I remember all of those things. It was pretty cool, because it was UCB New York.
Yeah, exactly.
And you did that piece.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tell people what that piece is so that we are all reminded.
Well, that piece is something that I did actually yesterday for the Nerdist show, so that's coming out. So I'm on the Nerdist and the Dork, so I'm just covering every...
Right, you're hitting all of everyone who's embraced their inner nerd,
yes.
Geek, dork. Is there a geek-tastic? Possibly.
If there is,
You're available.
I'm available. So that was a piece where I talk about a bad kind of accidental trip that I had, but it's all via Italian opera that I made up.
That's right.
So it's super titles.
It was and it was so much work and so beautiful because it was a musical piece that you did captioning for, or subtitles. Surtitles above you, and so you sang, and it was in Italian. And then there was a translation of the English. And is that online yet, or is it just, or did you record it?
No, we just taped it. So yesterday for the Nerdist thing. I performed that piece a lot live.
Right.
And
the Nerdist thing, will that be video?
That will be on their show.
That'll be on the pod.
But then also I'm going to do that piece. They're on BBC America or whatever.
Oh, the BBC America.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's video. The BBC America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I'm psyched.
But then he also, Chris Hardwick is producing a video for their channel.
Right.
And this, so we're shooting that tomorrow. So that'll be like a music video.
Oh, neat.
With green screen and all sorts of things will be happening.
That's exciting.
Walls will be falling down and,
Venice will go by. It'll be, you don't know.
I don't know.
It could be anything. Because you're not in charge of the production of that green screen?
No, I'm involved, but this guy Liam Lynch is the director that they've paired me with, and he directed Sarah Silverman's movie the Jesus is Magic thing
Oh, okay.
and a lot of music videos. And he seems like to almost be the trip guy because he does all these, sort of psychedelic, not psychedelic in the 60s,
right, but
but
just kind of trippy
music videos.
Yeah, that's neat. But I remember seeing it and genuinely being blown away. So I was just so excited that you'd be willing to come. And so I said to you, you emailed me and you said, that I'm the opera singer person, but can we just talk about singing, including opera? And I have realized I've never had a singing dork on. I've never, there's part of me that wants to ask you to sing, but what I can do is I can link you. I can link people.
Right.
Unless you would like to break into song.
Let's, if it comes.
If it happens organically. Fair enough. I like awkward. So, but I do love, I love the idea. I'm a team singer myself. I enjoy, singing in a group.
Yeah.
Because I love singing. Because I think we come from a people that sing, right?
Yeah.
Humanity sings.
That's right.
Right. Have you always sang?
I think not when maybe when I was a really little child, but
right.
but
yes.
I do remember also singing as a child to those, like we would get those cassette tapes out of like the Kmart clearance bin or
like
something,
the K-Tel or whatever.
It's like fake Aretha Franklin, and on one side it's somebody who's a fake Aretha Franklin, and on the other side it's like
just the instrumental,
So
like a karaoke cassette.
Karaoke cassette.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
I do not know about those, but they sound fantastic.
Yes.
By the way, let me do this business. JosephKeckler.com and @JosephKeckler is your Twitter. And Joseph is spelled Joseph, and then Keckler is Keckler. So, the American public and, the international world should know all that. And then, so, have you always done comedy singing? What's the word? Because literally all I know about you is that I did
that weird,
awesome one piece.
That opera piece about the trip. Well, I'm kind of all over the map. So
Artistically?
Artistically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I trained as a visual artist and also as a singer.
Okay.
And then have subsequently just combined those things in different ways. And I often sometimes things are humorous, but I never really thought of myself as a comedian.
Okay.
But then certain pieces just seem to,
be funny.
They seem to be funny.
And then humanity is hilarious. Wait, so visual artist in what medium?
I was a painter.
Okay. Yeah. Fine art?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've done a fine art episode with Bent Washburn, and he's a fine artist of Mormon ancestry. Bent Washburn and lapsed Jack Mormon at this juncture, aren't we all? But did you do the video yourself for that piece? Like, did you do the subtitles and all that? Do you speak Italian?
I don't speak Italian, but
okay.
I can fake it. I can sing in Italian.
Right.
Yeah. I'm starting to learn Italian.
Okay, and so you got it translated by someone?
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I love the idea of that. And it's so what kind of do you do more singing just in general?
Yeah, I do a couple different. I'm doing in New York in a couple weeks this whole sort of faux opera.
Okay.
It's called I Am an Opera.
I Am an Opera?
Yes.
Tell me, what the hell's that? That's awesome.
Well, it starts out with the shroom piece, and then the whole thing, it's just kind of an expanded version of that, so it's all a trip.
Okay.
But then I have different multimedia elements, like this sort of former voice teacher of mine, but I play the teacher,
right.
appears on a screen, but trapped in a silent film.
Oh.
And so she has her silent film titles, and I have my opera title. So it's like we're in two different art forms, but we're having a conversation.
Okay.
And, and then, all sorts of, I cast one of my old paintings, and that appears, but its mouth, it sings a song. I thought,
excellent.
We should make some use of that. And then there's a surprise too.
And then there's a twist. There's a twist.
It's all twists.
It's all twists. There's very few through line.
Yes.
And is it like an hour and a half? Will it be a full theater event? Will it be an hour, a tight hour?
It'll be a hot 70.
A hot 70. Sweet. It's are you musical in other ways? Like, do you play an instrument?
I play piano.
You play piano?
Yeah.
Did you play piano when you were a kid? Mm-hmm. Or did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you say you studied fine art? Where'd you go to school, if I might be so bold?
I went to University of Michigan.
Oh, right. Great, because you're from outside of Grand Forks.
I'm from
Grand Rapids. And why do I keep calling it Grand Forks earlier? You weren't there, Rangers of the Dork Forest, but I called it Grand Forks before we were recording. It's a great story. I'm going to make my own movie about it. Okay, moving on. So, yeah. So talk to me about, what do you like about it? What drew you to singing? What do you like? Are there singers?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a little kid, I don't know, I just was into, I guess, voices in general, and still am. And I was really into like Mel Blanc, you know, who was the
cartoon guy,
the cartoon guy who did all the voices for, you know, Warner Brothers cartoons and
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah,
all right.
Bugs Bunny. He did all of them.
Right.
And so I thought that was amazing, and I kind of like tried to do that.
Okay.
Tried to do funny voices. Yeah. But more not more like making up voices more than like celebrity impersonation.
Right. It wasn't
like,
a Rich Little kind of moment. It was more of just a new voice. This is going to be the voice of an elephant that sings or flies.
Yeah. Or imitating, but people who I knew who were just kind of loitering around, you know. Yeah.
Yes.
So they wouldn't, if I did their voice wrong, nobody would really know because.
Right. Because nobody's familiar with Ed Larrabee from the middle of Michigan.
No.
So,
although at the time I was in the middle of it, so probably everyone did know.
They might have known him, but if it was bad enough, nobody knew him. And
right.
you were like, no, I'm not talking about Ed.
No.
I'm talking about somebody else. It's going to be fine.
But I was also real into kind of blues singers and stuff like Calloway and Screamin Jay Hawkins and
just early blues from now Cab Calloway, of course, I've heard of. I know nothing about music, by the way. I own one album of everybody. So I have like one Fun album. I have one They Might Be Giants album. I mean, like you can go back in time. I have one Ruth Brown album.
Oh, I love her actually.
I have one Jelly Roll Morton, so. People
say, somebody said, oh, Ruth Brown can't read music, but she could hear a rat piss on cotton.
Oh, really? That's a good ear. She had a good ear is what they were saying. Is that what they were saying?
Yeah.
She also didn't mind getting hit, according to some of the lyrics.
Oh.
I don't know if you've listened to many of the lyrics of the Ruth Brown music.
Which was that? What?
There's a couple of songs where she loves a guy who'll toss her around. Is what?
Does she do? I mean, like. Ain't Nobody's Business If I Do or something. I mean, that one is kind of...
That one's a little hitty.
I don't mind if my man hit me rather than right up and quit me or something.
Yeah. Specifically, that is an excellent quote for she's because there's no hitting in grown-up land. So it's very sad when Ruth Brown is like, no, it's okay. I don't mind an occasional smack as long as he brings home the bacon. And
right.
And she was a hell of a singer.
But even before that, I mean, I think Bessie Smith, did that song and some other songs. But there's something. Yes, I mean, it's not. You could say it's not a real feminist perspective.
Oh,
but
right.
But in another way, it's kind of empowering to
just own it, or
in a certain way.
Yeah, no.
In some of those songs,
and I say you own it. Do it. Yeah, it's and
there's a frankness to those old blues songs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
that really speaks to what their lives were like. That kind of thing. The honesty of the storytelling of it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're kind of embrace. There's my favorite song of Bessie Smith's though is Send Me to the Electric Chair.
Yeah? How does that go?
Well, it's like, Judge, please, Mr. Judge, send me to the electric chair. It's about she murdered her husband.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like,
okay.
I cut him with my Barlow. I kicked him in the side. I stood there laughing over him while he wallered around and died. Oh, Judge.
Wow. She's like,
Yeah, it's like, hey, I cut him up, kill me.
Yeah, sure.
It's kind of, I don't know, I always thought that was an inspiring song.
Excellent.
I thought it was life affirming, and ironically,
and it's very much stand up for yourself kind of thing, and accept the consequences of what you did. I mean, I don't mind that at all. I don't have when you think about other people's art, I always want to be cool with, like somebody else's storytelling or somebody else's stand up. You're like, wow, that's where you come. I mean, that's your story, If you don't think that you're the victim in that story, then that's your defense. I mean, that's your defense mechanism, right? I mean, that's how you make it through the day. And so own it, So there was somebody who was telling a story at a storytelling show I did about how she was 12 and this 23-year-old camp counselor guy was like, let's make out. And she was talking about how she felt like she had sort of led him on. She's got to be 40 now. Mm-hmm. And you think to yourself, what? There's not 12-year-old, 23-year-old. I don't know. I'm going to blame one of those two people, and it's not going to be the 12-year-old. I don't care if you were the most stunning 12-year-old from the French cinema. Right. There's no way that the 23-year-old that was okay, right? Because he's a grown-up man,
right.
Ideally.
Right. Well, and twice her age, I guess, almost.
Almost twice, right. And twice her age, not 50 and 25. Twice her age, 12 and 24.
What about 5 and 10? What about that one, though?
What about that one? That is an interesting.
That's what
Yeah. I liked her. Her skin was really soft. 5-year-olds, they're really sexy.
Or 6 and 3,
6 and 3, I think that's just a crush at that point. Nobody has any sort of motor skills to really make it happen,
right.
Possibly.
Well,
I
mean, you can make a little something happen. I think. Just a little.
It would have to be a little something.
A little snuggle.
There would be yes, that would be more of a YouTube page of, look at toddlers in love. I always thought that would be the biggest monetization ever, which if you took two toddlers because I saw a couple of toddlers in an airport meet one time. And I was like, if I had any sort of a video camera that could, it was like two different sets of parents, obviously, right?
Right.
And so these two toddlers are just playing in the muck that is an airport, just a germaphobe moment. And, but they're just crawling around on the floor. And then they met, and it was adorable, hilarious, and, I think could have had a gajillion hits on, and I thought, where's that YouTube page? Mm-hmm. Toddlers meeting in different occasions.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Sure. What the heck?
I like that, but I wanted to write a play one time called Babies in Love.
Yeah?
But I wanted there to be just giant adults playing the babies.
Oh, good.
I thought that would be sweet.
That would be sweet. Especially if it'd be funny if it weren't, actual babies in love. You'd have to shoot it from like a top-down camera of them just lying in cribs next to each other thinking. That's a good-looking baby. He's pretty handsome. That's a pretty handsome baby over there.
Right. Yeah, that could be, but there would be like the crib bars between them.
Oh, right. And they would it'd be more of like a...
That would be a tragic love story.
Right. Very Romeo and Juliet as they were wheeled away from each other from their playpens. And, whenever people have kids, they always talk about how sexy their kids are. You know how
I didn't know that.
Oh, I have a lot of people.
But yeah.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, he's a heartbreaker. She's gonna be quite the little whore or whatever they say.
Right.
I mean, they don't say that, but I mean, they always are like, he's gonna be a heartbreaker. She's gonna be a heartbreaker. And I'm like, hey, they're two. Why don't you let them be children who don't read yet? Or whatever, I mean, it's always like, they always make them, but we do tend to sexualize kids at a very young. Well, they'll obviously you're
gonna make some little girl real happy one day.
Exactly, and that's her boyfriend. Really? Are they 3? Aren't they 3? Are they dating? Have they made that decision? I'm on.
Is it an open relationship?
Exactly. So, yeah. Okay, I have digressed us completely off singing, but it makes me want to go get you my favorite singing book of all time. I forgot about this. So tell a story. I'll be right back.
All right. I'm gonna tell a story.
Is it over?
It's over. I really just told a lie, which was that I was going to tell a story.
Exactly. Fibber. Completely full of it. So that is a songbook from when I was a child that my stepmother used to, she used to have us sing these songs. And they're old classics, speaking of Bessie Smith. And there's no music, so you had to know how the tune went, right? Like Bicycle Built for Two is in there.
Right.
But you had to know how...
Up a lazy river.
Right. There are many songs that I still do not know how they go. But I bet you they're old classics from when...
Good Night, Irene. That's a Leadbelly song.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is Leadbelly a rock band?
No, he's an old blues singer.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I knew I'd heard of him, but I didn't know. Where's he from? Like, what got you into blues? It was just studying music forever?
I don't know why I was into blues. I was just into that as a small child. As a small...
Were your parents
white child in a small town
in Michigan,
southwest Michigan. I wanted to be a grizzled
elderly black
man,
or lady. And just in case you wanted to really hit the notes,
right?
Just depended, yeah.
Yeah, maybe when convenient, but...
Sure, off and on. Who doesn't want to swap it out? But yeah, so you started listening to blues when you were a kid, or did you listen to everything when you were a kid?
I listened to, I listened to lots of blues and David Bowie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because that's not, he's got a lot of albums out, David Bowie, but...
And Elvis. I had to listen to Elvis if I had a headache.
That was the rule?
That was my rule.
Oh,
I wasn't forced. No, that was my...
Your mom was like, honey, you got a headache? We're going to put in, the old gospel. It's, right. Did you ever listen to any of his gospel stuff?
I think I heard a little bit of the gospel stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, but no, I liked the ballads, you know.
Right.
I liked yeah.
Which ones? I don't know enough about Elvis Presley because when you said Elvis, I heard Costello. That's how I finished it in the end.
Elvis Costello, I kind of like him, but then part of me, sometimes I get a little irritated by him. I don't know why.
Why? I wonder. Go off.
I like him, but at the same time...
There's something that you don't like?
Maybe.
All right. That could happen.
Well, he doesn't cure headaches, let me put it that way.
Fair enough. Because he'll try different stuff, too. Like, David Bowie has a lot of different experimental kind of music, right? Did you listen to mostly the hits, or was it... Because you know how, like, he's been writing, I guess. Someone told me this. I don't know anything about it. Because the last great album was supposedly from, like, the early 90s or something, right?
Well, except like for Outside?
I don't know. But it's been 25 years, and he has continued to work in music.
Yeah.
He
just had that, he just released an album.
Oh, yeah?
What
was it called?
This month. It's called, what is it called?
I can look it up and put it in the notes. It's all good. Yeah.
I just got it, but, there's the single he released on his birthday was Where Are We Now? That was what that was called.
And is it great?
Was it great?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's good. I think he released the album Heathen a few years ago, which I think was pretty good, actually.
Mm-hmm. A little bit better? You like that one a lot?
I think it was probably a little bit better. Yeah. But I think it's exciting that because he hasn't been doing as much these last few years. He's been a little bit reclusive.
Right.
But he's like kind of amazing because he never gets sort of dated, I don't think. Because I think transformation was so built into his identity that he can kind of...
Yeah, so he's going to change anyway. So it doesn't really... he's not going to get all stagnant or anything anyway, because he's just going to do something weird.
Yeah, he's got cred and he's good, basically.
Yeah. That's great. There's so many different... whenever anybody says, I'm a music dork, it's always just chilling words to me, because there's cave drumming, and then there's, ambient Enya nonsense. I was like, I'm going to need some specifics, when anyone says, I'm like, right. I just like music, man. Do you just like music? Because I'm going to cut myself. And so I like the idea of, so when you sing, so what is it about singing that you love?
I like singing because I feel like I can kind of be outside of my body. I feel like the voice is just like a different presence, you know? So I feel free when I sing.
When you sing? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you sing every day?
Yeah, I try to sing every day.
And what do you usually, do you consider it like you're working on something, or do you just burst into song and you just kind of sing?
Well, I do like vocal exercises, like scales and things, but then I try to, I do a lot of just absurd riffing, or, I don't.
Okay.
You can have fun with, you can say, instead of saying do, re, mi, fa, so, you can sing OBGYN.
Right,
and
right.
It's
and
fun.
Then, you can mix it up, and then you can say whatever you want because you're by yourself doing scales.
Exactly.
But fair enough. So do the scales, what are the purpose of, is it just to loosen up the vocal cord? What is the purpose of scales in life?
Well, to just keep you, it's like an athlete stretching.
Okay.
And training.
Okay.
Basically, to keep the muscles ready, to keep everything, to keep your breath going, to keep it all working.
Okay. So I have read, The Dragon Singers of Pern, and it is a fantasy novel written by Anne McCaffrey in the early 70s, late 60s. Could have been written in the 12th century. Doesn't matter. From the look in your face, you're like, I've never heard of the Dragon Riders of Pern, so the Dragon Singer, not so much. But it's about the Harper Hall on a world with dragons. And it's about this kid who wants to be a singer. And so she is taught to sing. And so, like, I never took vocal classes as a kid or any time. I would love to take a vocal class to learn how to use your breath, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a big deal, right? In singing, you're supposed to sing from the diaphragm. That's what I got from the Dragon Singer book. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're supposed to take a really deep breath, but not the kind where your like chest expands like a rooster or something. You're supposed to like
from
like a yogic breath almost.
Okay,
but like a deep one. And then one voice teacher told me, you can flex your taint. He said, just flex your taint. That'll make it easy. It'll distract the other muscles that are in the way, and you'll be able to get.
Wow, that just worked. Actually, there's too much info, Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was the victim in that situation, I think. when my voice teacher.
Yeah. Did you know what a taint was when he brought it up?
It tain't nobody's business if I did.
Tain't nobody's business. Here's my thing. The weird thing about that is that the word taint came up last episode of The Dork Forest. Felicia Michaels collects old-timey lunchboxes. She has a lunchbox collection, and she told me, I thought the word taint was new. And she's like, oh no. No, the word taint has been around since there tain't been nothing. And I was like, well, I didn't know. I heard it on Deadwood. So as far as I'm concerned, it's from 2007.
So taint was new to you.
Right.
I see.
I didn't know anything about it, but I was raised by people who didn't talk dirty.
Right.
And that's what that would have been.
But had you ever, I think when I learned the word taint, I hadn't even really thought about that area of my body before. It's kind of like an unconsidered zone.
Yeah.
Right? And then it was like, oh, that has a name.
That has a name. Who's poking at it and naming at it? That's always my question. I'm like, whose business is it? Is that there's an area in between, I guess. Someone cared enough to name it. And that's so beautiful when someone cares enough to name something.
Yes.
Yep. All right. What other body parts are there? So, yeah, but the studying of the singing, because there's you do scales. Are there other things you can do? Are there breathing exercises?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You have to you can do all these things go ha, 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 laugh like Santa, and then that will put you in touch with your breath or something,
Okay.
And then, but you can also, or if you kind of bend over and then take a deep breath or stand up against the wall, you want to feel your diaphragm and you want to feel, your lower back actually.
Oh, really?
I had a voice teacher who would say, and now you want to feel as though somebody's giving a gentle massage. That's what she said, massage.
Voice teachers might be weird, is what we're learning. They might have a very specific. They're trying to make it
Flex
interesting.
Your taint, feel like you're getting a massage. It's very,
but they're
very
trying
sensual.
to be very sensual. But they're trying to make it very specific too, so that you can very much find that place.
Yeah, and it's also very abstract, like the way voice teachers will talk to you. It's like, okay, now as you're singing up this scale, feel like you're singing into a Hershey Kiss. And
weird.
I know exactly what that means, but
Now.
I wouldn't imagine. Yes, it's
What is it?
It's kind of because you're shifting resonators, and you want to, and the and so less air is going through the vocal cords, I think, as you're singing higher, and you can kind of, it's like singing to
comes
this
to a
narrower
point?
space. And I don't know everything physiologically, but I know when somebody tells me Hershey Kiss,
You're like, all right.
I'm like, all right, we're on the same page.
I have been trained on the Hershey Kiss method.
To do that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be something where they're trying to make sure like they're trying to relate in some ways.
Yeah. But it's very abstract. I mean, it's very image based. So it sounds, the kind of language that you use is just seems absurd and abstract. Yeah.
Well, sure, out of context, sure, but it's but in context, if it works, right? Mm-hmm. Then that's a win. Then you could say, well, that's a weird lady, but only out of context, because when she's teaching you how to sing, if you leave the room knowing exactly what she meant and you did it the way she wanted you to do it, that's got to be its own reward to some extent, right? And are there standard ways of doing it? Are there, like, does everyone know the Hershey Kiss thing, or does everyone know the back against the wall thing? Or is it very specific?
Different ways of phrasing the Hershey Kiss thing, like you could.
Because there are funnels, there are other pointy objects.
Yes, exactly.
that can be used.
But the Hershey Kiss is a nice one to think about.
Sure, because it's got
an appetizing prospect.
It's got a chocolate based. Sure.
But I guess there are different techniques. It's a classical technique. But then there's people who belt, and then people who are sing in different ways. So,
right.
Yeah.
What do you think of that whispery singing? What do you think of that?
Like who?
Oh wait, not whispery singing. It was a friend of mine was a. What do you think of that? The falsetto bit, like when there's a treble, like when there's la la la, like there's a people. It's like they're talking into a fan.
Vibrato.
That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. Vibrato. Music is my life. I've mentioned it before. Yes.
And for the vibrato, they'll say things like, just imagine that you're in a sea of jelly, and the jelly is the vibrato, and it's there all the time, and you just have to, swim in it.
You swim in it.
So it's swimming in jelly,
Right. Who
singing
does good
into the Hershey Kiss.
Right. Who does a good vibrato, though, if you think about it?
Well, opera singers do.
Oh, do they?
Do vibrato, and yeah.
Right. That's right.
But then somebody like rock singers don't do as much vibrato, or like crooners, or don't do as much.
It's more.
But Broadway people, I guess, do vibrato, but they sound a little more inane,
Right. It always sounds weird when it's in a Broadway musical, because like opera. I don't know anything about opera. Are you learning more about opera, or have you been interested in opera for a while?
I'm interested in opera, but I'm not by any means any kind of aficionado.
Right. Right. It's it's just in general, it's just an interesting sort of experiment. Like it's a medium to some extent.
Yeah.
That you can work around and work through and with.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Like, because I like to sing, and I like a musical, right? I like a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think if there were. Because you live in New York now.
I live in New York, yeah.
Do you go to see many shows? Do you ever
Sometime, yeah.
Like some theater and stuff like that?
I go to lots of shows, yeah.
Have you seen, because there are musicals that I like, and there are newer musicals that I do not enjoy. And
I've never been a musicals person
really?
myself. No. My aunt was in Kalamazoo, community theater. She was in Little Shop of Horrors when I was a kid. And I thought that was, I liked that. It was kind of like.
Sure, you got to see her, and you got
her, and they had the big Venus flytrap that ate people
Right.
and stuff. So that was cool. But,
Right, it had that going for it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a plus. But musicals, no, I don't. They're not
Right.
my...
Yeah, a lot of people.
thing.
Yeah, I like. There's probably 6 musicals that I like, and they're all of a certain genre. You know, it's a like Guys and Dolls, and you know, it's that genre. Though I like Hair and Jesus Christ Superstar. So again, much like albums, I probably own one of each genre, and then that's it. So I don't mind them, but there's. I like the idea of a story being told in song, though. Mm-hmm. You know, like the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. There's a lot of that too. You know, where they tell a history via music. You know, because it lasts longer. Because people tend to remember a song more than they remember a textbook. Mm-hmm. And that's the theory behind it. So
right. I mean, I appreciate it as an art form. It's just
it's just not your go-to.
Yeah. Somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow it's not. I don't know why.
Right. No. I guess there's no reason. So what else? What other singing things? What else you got?
There's something you said a minute ago that I was going to say something about, but what was it? I don't know. I like it when opera singers and do duets with like different kinds of singers.
Oh, yeah.
Like Pavarotti did duets with everybody.
Oh, okay. Did he?
Yeah. So it would be like, there's this clip you can find on YouTube of Pavarotti singing something with Grace Jones.
Okay.
And they just go back and forth, and like Pavarotti opens his mouth and he's amazing. And then Grace Jones just has this incredible hat on. And
that's her go-to?
That's her go. I mean, she does kind of sing, but you know.
Right. It's just Pavarotti's like, I want to hang out with Grace Jones and her hat.
Yeah. And like B.B. King, he does The Thrill Is Gone.
Okay.
Which, sure, you know. And, and he usually has a guitar solo.
Okay.
After he's, the thrill is gone away, the thrill is gone away. And, you done me wrong, and you'll be sorry someday. And then usually there's a guitar solo. But
right.
in the Pavarotti version, it's, and you'll be sorry someday. Then it's like, I probably just totally blew out the...
No, I like that you stepped a second away because it didn't blow it out. It was
good.
Really great.
But it's just the height of absurdity,
right, Right.
So I like
that.
But I like to accentuate... absurdity in my book is good.
Right.
And I think musicals, too, it's like they're talking, then they start singing, and, that's absurd.
Right.
And just go with that.
Right.
Instead of trying to do like real touching or morally serious musicals. I mean, I think they should just go full throttle. Like all of it, because in Oklahoma, they're just walking along and then all of a sudden they'll break into song. Yeah.
Because it's the next sentence could just be the next sentence, or it could be the next sentence, or whatever, it just
right.
like, you could just go into this.
So there's something kind of delightful about that.
Yeah.
But I think they should. I think musicals. They don't really need plots.
Right.
No plots.
No plots.
No. Kind of corny messages
like love stories.
No.
But there's always a B plot. There's always like remember in South Pacific it was racism is bad.
Well, and then that's what they did with like the Hairspray the musical. They made it like. Racism is bad.
Yeah.
But they kind of,
that was with a hammer and a chisel, right. And they were attacking my brain box with it. It was, at least South Pacific had the guy with the coconut bra at one point where you're like, yes, that's what I want out of a musical.
Right.
And then just slide in the message.
It's something that, but I think in that case, the Hairspray the musical, okay, so they're hammering this message about liberation in a way, whereas I thought the kind of camp aesthetic of the film upon which it was based was a liberation. I found that to be liberating just watching it. I had a feeling of liberation.
Yeah, so, Rocky Horror Picture Show though was more like, we don't care if anybody ever watches this. We're going to make it. It had a real sense of freedom to it, that Rocky Horror, because it's terrible. It's a terrible movie. It is not. There's nothing there.
There's nothing. It's just redemptive about it.
Well, the thing is, as enjoyable as it is to watch, and almost anything is if you watch it 37 million times, because by that time it's just like getting a hug from your mom. But it's like, but it's not like it has, like the story doesn't make any sense, and the people are doing things that don't make any sense. But you're like, I am having the time of my life watching these people.
But yet, there are still these devotees who have every line, and then the lines they insert between and everything.
The responsive lines, yes.
Which I still I think in like small towns in regional America, you still kind of, the Rocky Horror Picture Show seems like an avant-garde thing when you're like 13, right. Still at this point.
It's still freeing junior high kids. And, it's still making a safe space for like the gay kid to go. He's like, I need to get away from these people and find something weird and interesting, and that isn't. But that's what it was in the factory town I grew up in, South Milwaukee. Anyway.
But I think rather quickly then you feel like you're trapped in the castle.
Right. I mean, it's like there's a window. There's a window where you have to see it. Otherwise, you don't necessarily get it.
It's like driver's training, Do it for a summer and then graduate.
And then just get a license.
Although, the person who evaluated my driver's training, he wrote, time and time again, he said, I think Joe should take the bus for the rest of his life. Time and time again, I tell him to pull to the right shoulder when turning right. And time again, he fucks it up.
Really?
He wrote that on my report card that went to my parents.
That went to your parents. He fucks it up.
Fucks it up.
All right. Well, thanks for just bringing it, keeping it real. It's, what I was talking to somebody about how drivers in Minneapolis tend to drive me nuts because they don't use their signals. They essentially swerve over as an indication that they're going to want to move into the next lane. And then they swerve over again. It's a very passive-aggressive kind of, I'm going to want to come over, and then they put their signal on, where if they just put their signal on, it turns out I would be alerted by that mechanical device that they wanted to come over.
But you think maybe they're just falling asleep at the wheel or something.
Right. And they're like, well, nobody's going to let me in. Nobody's going to let me in. So I'm going to just swerve over, and then everyone will know that I want to come over, and then I'll put my signal on. And I was like, how about we have a social contract that involves you putting your signal on and me either speeding up and getting out of your way or slowing down and allowing you to come in if you do it in a timely fashion. But I was driven mad by the whole, I digress. But I like, because the new musicals, like my brother went and saw The Book of Mormon.
I haven't seen that. Everybody seems to love it,
I have a bootleg from Broadway that's probably shaky cam, but he went and saw it in Chicago, and he loves a musical. My brother Russ in Milwaukee, because he is the straightest gay man in the world, and has loved all things. Loves Connie Francis. He was the one who turned me on to Ruth Brown and Brenda Lee, and but he was talking about how he didn't think the Book of Mormon had any legs, because it could never be played in a high school. Like, they could never do a high school production of it. And I think it'll be fine. I think the Book of Mormon will make money anyway, because they'll be cursing at a college level, possibly.
Right.
And so, but I like the idea that those guys made that musical, that they took something, that they're guys who appreciate the musical, and they're like, look at this weird thing that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
The Book of Mormon, Mormonism, people's religious choices, and also poop and fart jokes, because it's Trey and Matt. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of bodily functions happening.
Right. Right, necessarily.
Yeah. So, would you ever want to be in a musical?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think I have this thing where this impulse where I feel like, I don't know. I feel like musicals are kind of dorky, and like it would be, it would be like castrating to have to be in a musical,
right?
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
I just have this kind of like
You get a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to it, or?
Yeah, I kind of like revert to being a 14-year-old boy with
wanting it to be cooler,
satanic jewelry on, like kind of like
maybe
scuttling down the street, like, you know, thinking like musicals. WTF?
But you could write a musical. You could write your musical, which is what essentially your piece is, right?
I did write. A friend of mine, Aaron Markey, and I wrote a musical called "Looking for Limbo" a few years ago, and that had giant babies in it.
Okay.
Because it was after the Catholic Church had announced, just suddenly, kind of apropos of nothing, that they were eliminating limbo from their official doctrine. Not that limbo had.
I did not know
I mean,
that.
I think people had sort of forgotten that limbo was a part of the and nobody thought it was a part of their official doctrine. But then they got, you know, they made this big announcement, you know, no limbo. You know,
were you raised Catholic?
No, I wasn't.
Was he raised Catholic?
No, Aaron's a girl. But
okay.
I don't know how to say that. You know, there's like AARON and then ERIN. They sound the same to me.
Is her last name Armenian? What was her last name?
Markey. It's Irish.
Oh, Markey?
Yeah.
I thought you said Markian.
Markian.
I hear Armenians everywhere. I'll move on.
You know, so we decided, what happens to the people in the souls in limbo now that it's being evicted from the realm of belief? So they're in double limbo. And, you know, limbo was the receptacle for like infants, stillborn, the souls of stillborn, unbaptized infants.
Okay, so there's heaven, there's hell, there's purgatory, and there's limbo.
Right.
And limbo were babies who baptized babies?
Also kind of people who were morally ambiguous or something. Some people who could kind of have gone into purgatory would end up in limbo.
And what was the name of the?
Looking for limbo. So it was, you know, it followed the journey of the soul of one stillborn baby to limbo, which was a bar on the moon called the Lurch, and there were just a bunch of kind of giant babies there living it up. And so, but then I don't know, there was another plot. Like she kind of came back and tried to communicate with the cardinal from the church, and then they fell in love, and there was a romance between this I
love a love story. I like when there's a love story between a baby and a member of the church.
Yeah. So it was, you know, very.
Yeah. So you did write a musical. Mm-hmm. And, so you could, I mean, and if you think about it, I mean, the opera piece is a musical, you know, is a piece in part of a musical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You're making musicals cool, Joseph Keckler, is what I'm saying.
All right.
That's it. You're the one who's taking it out of a dorkdom and owning it and making it something more, man. It's great. It doesn't have to have a message. It just has to have a good song and kids can dance to it. You know? Yeah. Your Mushroom Trip opera song, that's got a good beat. Kids can dance to that. That's good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, we're going to, you know.
We'll see, and people will be able to watch it on BBC America, right? Because it'll be on that stand-up show that he's doing, right?
Yeah, and definitely the YouTube one that'll come out.
And that'll come out, and that'll be available soon.
Before the summer, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's going to be a music video, so that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's great. Okay. So what we've learned about some singing exercises, and we've learned how to breathe and stuff. But I like, because the kind of music that when I think about what kind of music do I like, it's always storytelling music, whether it's country music or hip hop. Those are my two favorite kind of music.
Yeah.
Because they're all, and it's usually the same story.
What kind of country music do you like?
Well, again, I
just have one album.
I just have one album. It's a Garth Brooks album from 1989. And, or it's like I'll listen to because when I drive and do the road, I'll listen to the country station and it's always hilarious. It's always some hilarious tale. Like many years ago, this is my favorite example. It was a story about a guy who was, for some reason, he was on a business trip to California and he was flying home to his wife. And right before he got on the plane, he bought a postcard that said heaven and had a picture of the beach. And so he signed and he said, "Hey, I saw a bunch of people that we both know and I miss you and I love you." And that was the chorus, because of course the plane crashes So she gets a postcard from heaven after the plane. I'm driving down the road, tears, just streaming. Oh my God. It's the dumbest song in the fucking world. And I loved it. But then Lupe Fiasco has a song about the kids who fight the little kids who fight in Africa with the guns. And it's called, it's about a little gun. And the story is about the kids who think they're tough here. And they're like, somebody got a gun. And then the kids who have guns in Africa, who were given guns and told that if they killed this many people, they would get a soccer ball. And you're like, holy crap. And again, with the crying and but the beat's a lot fatter on Lupe Fiasco.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I like a good story in a song.
We should make you a booty mashup of those two songs.
Oh, dude, do it. Make it so. I don't even know who sings that Heaven song, but it's the dumbest fucking song. And yeah.
You know the Lyle Lovett song about God?
I like Lyle Lovett.
You do? You know?
Yeah, I like Lyle Lovett.
Oh, I thought you said, I like it, I love it.
Oh, no, I like it, I love it. I bet I like Lyle Lovett. Boom, okay.
It's like, it's funny because it's like, you think it's just, it's like, it's rhetorical. Like, it's, who always comforts you when you've been cheating, spending your nights on the town? Who's always saying that you're forgiven when you're through running around? Well, God does, but I don't.
Oh, my
God will, but I won't. That's the difference between God and me. The only difference.
That is the only difference. It must, God, it's pretty sweet being Lyle Lovett from the sound of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't, that's not how I don't remember how he sings.
But it's an amazing, but that's an amazing song. And the hubris involved in that song is almost bottomless. And that's gorgeous. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like that. And a lot of those old blues songs are like that too. A lot of the songs in the 30s and 40s and 50s, they always had a really cool, and they were sometimes just, some song about how boys will be drinking their Cokes and girls will be,
right.
Wanting to get, remember Bill Bailey? Brenda Lee?
Oh, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My favorite version of that is by this singer named Lizzie Miles, and she's a Creole singer. And what she does for every song is she sings a verse in English, and then she sings it in Creole, and then she goes back to English. So it's like, s'il vous plaît, si, Bill Bailey. Yeah.
That is hilarious. It's and is it Miles with a Y or an I?
With an I.
With an I.
Lizzie Miles. No,
I'm going to ask you about old timey songs, because there's songs that I've always wanted to sing out of this. This is the Kiwanis Club of Cudahy, Wisconsin, St. Francis, Wisconsin songbook. It was presented by Schlitz. Yeah. So this is an old timey songbook, and it's the trapeze song. Do you know the trapeze song?
No.
Yep. Do you know Maresy Dotes and Dozy Dotes? Remember that one?
Yeah, I kind of remember that one.
That one's a dumb.
Yeah.
Maresy Dotes and Dozy Dotes and little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew what that was
what they
getting
were
at.
They were it was essentially just an absurdist. You know how if you say words really fast, they don't sound like the words that they're saying, but they're saying mares eat oats and does eat oats. And little lambs eat ivy.
I used to get that one confused with it sounded like something that was out of the Jabberwocky or something. Maresy Dotes, and
that all of that sounds incredibly. That resonates with me. So I don't know if that very easily could be true. Oh, the Whiff and Poop song is some sort of waspy kind of song from Harvard or something. But there was one that always made me. Oh, Me and My Shadow. Remember Me and My Shadow? The Yellow Rose of Texas.
Oh,
sure. Yeah. Put your arms around me, honey. Hold me tight. Remember that one? That was a classic.
Mac the Knife. I know that.
Do you know Mac the Knife?
Of course. That's a musical that the Three Penny Opera that's a good musical.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who wrote that?
Kurt Weill and Brecht.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's where that came from?
Yeah, it came from that.
Okay.
But I think that translation's a little bit, the original German was a lot like more kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Like
edgy, let's say.
Yeah. Let's just a lot of silence. How's it going out there? So
we're busy. We're looking at. Please don't talk about me. We're looking at my gal Sal.
I like the song list in this thing is not at all organized by anything.
There's that song, How'd You Like to Spoon with Me?
Yeah. That belongs in this book if it isn't here.
It's time for that song to have another life.
Oh, that'd be the best. If Zooey Deschanel could sing it, that'd be the best. It's 5'2", Eyes of Blue, right? So, I like the fact that this book has an entire page of the songs from different branches of the service. Like the Marine hymn and Anchors Away. Right. Yeah.
And the U.S. Air Force and then Tumbling Tumbleweeds.
I don't know how the U.S. Air Force song goes quite offhand, but I'm sure it's catchy. They call the Air Force.
Adam, boys, give her the gun.
Oh, wait. Adam, boys, give her the gun. That actually, I think my mother knew that song because she got me that book. She got us that book, and she would sing with us when we were kids. It was one of the good things my stepmother did, right? One of the great things. She would sit around and you're like, hey, you guys want to sit around and do some singing? Like it's 1937, and we do, it turns out. And because in Wisconsin, it's always just one step away from the Depression, in Nancy Kashian's view. Nancy Kashian's view is like, well, maybe this month we just, to keep it real, we have powdered milk. Anyone? Who's on my side? Nobody's on your side. This was one of the fun things that we would do. We would like, we were sailing along on Moonlight Bay. You could hear something, something. It seemed to say. Anyway.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar to me, but I don't know that one.
Right. There's a bunch of like old time, like campfire songs are what they feel like to some extent, where like now it would just be like I took an improv class where one of the improv games was that you were supposed to get in a circle and then one person in the middle of the circle had to sing a song and then everybody else had to join in and sing with them. And all of the songs, everybody else in the thing was like 18, 19 years old. So they're singing like Usher, and I'm like, I got nothing. I know no Usher. I know no Usher. I don't have any Usher. I don't even own an Usher. I have no Usher cred at all. So, so there was a lot of songs.
So you did Garth Brooks or what you did?
I believe I went to this book, the Kiwanis Club book, and they didn't know any of this shit either. So I felt like I was about 107. But I got over it. I don't care.
So you took them to school, basically.
Yeah, I felt, except for that they outnumbered me. They outnumbered me, and I felt a little bit like the giant dork.
You took them to Shantytown.
I did. I took them to HARRITANUC. And I took them to an old timey Irish shantytown where Harrigan is the name. And so what do you want out of the singing? The joy of just singing, bursting out into song. What do you want?
What do I want?
Yeah. What the heck?
I want to sing for all the world to hear.
Remember that Coca-Cola ad? I'd like to teach the world to sing.
I don't remember it.
I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I wish I knew harmony, actually.
I'm not good at harmony.
No?
No.
You're going to be lead? You're the lead singer?
It's
because it's got to be treble.
Well, and I don't know if that's like a some kind of subconscious, like an ego thing, or just a disability. Really, I just am not. I can do harmony, but I really have to practice it.
That sounds right, though, doesn't it?
I really have to practice it because if somebody else is singing like a melody, I just want to sing it along with them. That's just what my voice wants to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my.
Have you been taught to sing harmony? Like by the voice?
Not so. I mean, sometimes I've sung things that are, several vocal parts, and I can do it. I just have to practice.
Right. It's a learned skill. It makes perfect sense.
But some people are just amazing. They can they hear a harmony, they jump in, they sing the harmony.
Oh, and they can do sort of the other part.
Yeah.
Oh.
And sometimes even if I can hear the harmony and I invent it, then maybe I can know what it is. But if somebody's teaching it to me, I have like some kind of, I psych myself out. I'm like,
there's a bit of a mind block.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Fair enough. It's it always seemed, my husband Andy wants us to sing a song for Christmas. We put out a Christmas album we pick Christmas
every
songs.
Year you put
every couple of years we'll put together
Christmas only happens every couple of years.
Every couple of years we'll put out a Christmas albums. Other years and usually we just pick like 10 songs or 15 songs or whatever that are fun Christmas albums, and we send them out instead of Christmas cards, right? Well, he's been wanting to do where we sing a Christmas song and record it.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I don't know what you want to sing, but this Jackie Kashian just has the one skill set for singing, and it is the main melody. I don't know, but he was in choir, and he has a very nice voice, and so I think he can do the harmony and stuff.
Right.
So, but I'd like to learn how to do the harmony.
Yeah.
Because
he sing, but it might sound better if you sing the harmony.
Right. I mean, if he has a lower voice, which he does, because he is a man, and but I have a pretty low voice, so it's not. And he has a pretty good range. So I mean, it might be who the hell knows. What we need is a professional. We need a professional to get involved at some level.
Right, and just arrange it and
possibly
and shake some jingle bells.
Yeah. And that sounds prohibitively expensive and a lot more work that I want to do. How about we just pick 10 songs that we like that are jingle bells, and then we move forward. So, do you ever go caroling at Christmas? I never have.
I think I might have. It sounds sort of familiar, but I don't know. It's one of the idea of it sounds familiar. I don't have any, caroling anecdotes.
Okay.
But I definitely, my family, we always used to go see A Christmas Carol. Though, and then
the play?
The play.
Oh, really?
And then they would pretend that they were carol, like,
right?
Before the show, we would, let's get there early for the caroling, and then they would walk around and pretend that they were. Oh,
the cast would walk around and carol?
In carol.
Okay.
Yeah.
And could you sing with them, or?
Certain.
Yeah. Super. What kind of what have you done? Much public singing as a group, with groups at all, or? Just out of curiosity?
With like singing groups or something like that?
Yeah, or just caroling in general. We're going to do like an event where we're going to go to Grand Central Station and break into song.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
We're going to make up shit.
I think one time like a bunch of people like invaded a cell phone store. It was more like a guerrilla.
Right.
I don't know why we were doing it. If it was some kind of activist thing or just, boredom.
Right.
But I think we kind of, we wore a lot of like weird, children's dance recital costumes or torn up garbage bags. I don't know what. And we went in and sang some tunes. Some tunes at the cell phone.
Do you remember
store.
what at the? I like the idea that it was just some random cell phone store. It's like,
I think we also went to, I remember we went to like this doctor's office actually and first invaded.
Okay.
But it had been leaked to the doctor that we were going to do it. And that was a thing because like my friend, I don't know, the doctor told her she had abnormal male hormones or something because she like had a happy trail like underneath her belly button or something, and she thought he was like gender policing.
Yeah,
she's like, all right, so we're gonna
go music bomb this guy.
We're gonna music bomb the doc.
What did you sing? Did you sing something punitive? I can only hope.
Something pubic.
It was something pubic? There was some sort of pubic talk?
I think so. Yeah, something about, awesome. About body hair or, hormone. I don't know what it was. Something, but something sort of jolly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Joseph Keckler, it has been an hour. We have, I think we've exhausted the singing. I think we've done a good job here, dorking out.
Okay.
On if there's anything, have we missed anything that you'd like to discuss?
No.
Not that you could think of?
No.
Okay.
I'm good. I feel like I'm just getting warmed up here.
That's the nature of the hour long podcast. So let me just say, josephkeckler.com, BBC America, the Nerdist show that'll be out upcoming, and the Nerdist YouTube channel, where you're gonna do a video of that great mushroom trip story.
Yeah.
Done in Italian operatic, which was pretty fantastic.
And if you're in New York, then I have this show running every Friday and Saturday at Dixon Place Theater on the Lower East Side, and that is a commissioned theater piece from them, and it opens April 5th.
April 5th.
It's like a fractured, crazy opera. That's
awesome. Thank you so much for doing the Dork Forest.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. See you next time. Bye.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat, my hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?